Congresswoman, if you would unmute the screen and try to speak, see if we can get you up there.
Congressman, thank you.
There you are. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to the committee. I am Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher, and I have the honor and privilege of representing the people of Texas's 7th Congressional District, which is made up of diverse and vibrant neighborhoods in Houston, from Main Street in Midtown, Southwest, and Harris and Fort Bend counties. And Congressional District 7 is a majority minority district where Black, Hispanic, Asian American, and other minority citizens have successfully elected their candidate of choice since the district was configured in 2021, and I am proud to be that candidate. It's important for you to know that all but one of the 13 congressional districts in Texas represented by a Democrat has a majority minority population, and that in all 13 districts, it is minority voters who elect their candidate of choice. Those 13 districts are the only districts where minority voters, who make up more than 60% of the population of our state, consistently and reliably elect their candidates of choice. To dismantle any of these 13 districts currently represented by Democrats would be intentionally diluting the voting strength of minority communities. You cannot do it without harming Texans, and you shouldn't. It's against the law, and it's against the fundamental organizing principle of a democratic society that all citizens, not just the privileged few, have the right and have the ability to have a say in our government. Configuring a new map where District 7 is converted to a district where white voters elect a Republican is an intentional assault on minority Texans. We have a long and shameful history of discrimination when it comes to voting in our beloved state. From poll taxes to whites-only primaries, Texas has discriminated against voters of color for generations. But you have the power to reject that, to reject the pressure from President Trump and national Republican operatives urging you to offset their electoral losses elsewhere by redrawing the map in Texas to discriminate against minority communities, to put Texans first, not surrender them. And I urge you to do so, to end this process and focus on the real and urgent needs of our fellow Texans and our great state. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, any questions?
Sure.
Senator Alvarado.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congresswoman Fletcher, it's good to see you. I can't
Thank
see
you,
her,
Senator.
actually.
I'm glad to be with you.
Thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about your district? Because I think it's important. You said some words that are very important. You were the candidate of choice for that district. Can you tell me about the makeup of your district?
That's right, absolutely. And I think there is a little competition among members of Congress. I heard Congressman Green testifying that he thinks he has the most diverse district. I think, of course, the 7th Congressional District may be the most diverse district, not only in Texas, but in the country. The racial and ethnic breakdown is split among several groups. It is about 33% Latino. It's about 26% Anglo, 22% African American, 21% Asian American, and it encompasses so many diverse and vibrant parts of the greater Houston area, starting, as I said, in the middle of town, right off of Main Street and running west. And so we have the historic heart of the LGBTQ community in the Montrose neighborhood. Of course, I share a boundary with Congressman Green, and so the International District and Asia Town on Bel Air Boulevard is part of this district, as well as the heart of the Jewish community in Meyerland. We have a huge number, a big South Asian population as you get into Fort Bend County, but throughout the district, there are minority communities that come together and elect their candidate of choice. And what that means is that while no one group has the majority in this coalition district, the choice of these voters is has only been so far a Democratic candidate, because this district has been configured this way since 2021, and I've had the privilege of representing it since that time. It was differently configured prior to the last redistricting, and I had the privilege of serving two terms in that configuration as well. But what we know about this community is that, anticipating some of the questions, there are 140 languages spoken in Houston. In our community in particular, we welcome so many people from not only across the country, but around the world. The 7th Congressional District has more than twice the average of foreign-born residents as the state of Texas, nearly 40% of the people in this district. It's home to the Gulfton neighborhood, which is kind of the Ellis Island of Texas. And I have spent the last several years just working closely with people in that community on the kinds of needs that folks have relating to immigration matters. We have had the privilege of helping resettle refugees from Afghanistan and working with our community organizations that are really focused on refugee resettlement and welcoming people to our great state. And I do think it's important. This district and the Houston community in general is so welcoming. We all had to take Texas history in 7th grade, right? And learn about gone to Texas and people wanting to come to Texas. And there's no better representation of a welcoming community where people want to be than Texas's 7th Congressional District. And there are just so many different people who live and work in this community and who have made it just an absolutely thriving, dynamic place. And I'm so proud to have the privilege of representing them.
Well, I knew your district was diverse. I did not realize to the extent, and that's quite a breakdown that you just gave. And again, I think the important words to recognize here are candidate of choice. It's just like when many of us were involved in creating the 29th Congressional District. We created that as a Latino opportunity district. And as it turns out, the voters chose a non-Latino to represent them. And that was the candidate of choice. And that was a man by the name of Gene Green, who I later went to work for. And so trusting the voters to elect their candidate of choice is so important. And just your district is a very good example of that. Thank you for your testimony.
Well, thank you, Senator Alvarado. And if I might add, I do think it's really important that that's what we focus on. This is about the voters, not the members. It's not about any one particular member of Congress, but I do want to note, as I said in my testimony, that all 13 of these districts, whoever is sitting in that seat is the elected representative and candidate of choice of minority communities. And it's an incredible privilege for me, and it's my job to make sure that I'm speaking for everyone across this incredibly diverse and dynamic district, because this is about them. This is about the voters and not the elected officials. And it's important that the voters get to pick their representatives rather than the other way around.
Senator Miles.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Fletcher, I want to also thank you for testifying today. And I also want you to know that you have also been the citizens of Congressional District 7 chose properly in choosing you because you're a great leader in your community. I've watched your work. I've also worked with you in our district because we share some of the same parts, Congressman Fletcher. And I want you to know, that we're in this fight together. You've done a great job, and your district is just as makes up for the diversity district of Senate District 13, and you do a great job in representing the people of 7. Did a great job in choosing you as the candidate. Thank you, Congressman Fletcher, and thank you for testifying today.
Thank you so much, Senator Miles.
Senator Hinojosa.
Just a quick question to follow up on Senator Miles and Alvarado. I guess your congressional district is a majority-minority.
That's correct.
And you're not a minority, are you?
I am not.
You're Anglo-white.
Anglo. Yes, sir.
And that's why it's so important where you have the candidate of choice, and that's who the voters wanted, and they elected you as congressperson.
Well, thank you. I'm proud to be the candidate of choice of the incredible people of the 7th Congressional District and have had the opportunity to represent many parts of the district now, almost 8 years. I've been my 4th term, but certainly I was new to Fort Bend County after the last redistricting, and what I found is this is the most dynamic and wonderful district, and there's just an incredible opportunity to work together, to bring people together. And that is very true to Houston and to the community that I have the privilege of representing. So I'm honored and proud to be their candidate of choice and to work with my colleagues across the congressional delegation and across our community. And I think what Senator Miles noted is very important too, that we work together and we build relationships for the long term. And so I have had the opportunity to work with Senator Miles, to work with my state representatives, of course, in the House, other state senators, certainly, and our local elected officials for the benefit of everyone across our community, including the commissioners in Harris and Fort Bend County. And I do think it's important that we have a community of interest and that we are all working together effectively to deliver real results for the people that we all have the privilege of representing.
Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.